I'm Paul from SmoothStar, and in this video I'll be showing you how to maintain your SmoothStar board. Now the SmoothStar boards are made up of many high quality parts, and with the correct maintenance you're going to get many good years out of your SmoothStar board. Looking at the new board here, everything is working perfectly of course. From the spinning of the wheels, no resistance there. The bearings are in good condition. The wheels have worn evenly, and the thruster of course is turning without any resistance. Now looking at the used board here, things we need to look out for are obviously very badly worn wheels, not turning very well, which means the bearings are completely rusted and they'll need replacing. Now let's look at the thruster here. The thruster, as we saw before, turned very freely, but once again the salt here has seized this thruster and it's in need of big repairs. So let's get stuck into now as to how we can maintain these parts for you. So to keep your board well maintained, you simply need to check that the wheels are moving freely, that the bearings are also in good condition, no sand. Check your grommets, make sure they're not cracked. Check all the nuts, both large on the rear and the front. Check the silver and black nuts on the main board holding the trucks onto the deck itself. Check the silver nuts and bolts holding the trucks onto the thruster. And remember guys, not to touch your main thruster nut, as that will void your warranty. So the tools you're going to need to maintain your SmoothStar are the T-tool, a number 2 Phillips head screwdriver, a 3mm Allen key, and the all-important sewing machine oil, so much better than WD-40 as it'll stay lubricated longer. So the first thing we're going to do is check the tightness of our wheels. This is a simple process of using the T-tool. That's the sound we don't want. So when we tighten the wheel back up to a point where that sound disappears, that's the correct tightness. Repeat that on all 4 wheels. Next up on the maintenance of your SmoothStar board is the black nuts and bolts on the front and back of your boards. So as you can see, on the underneath of the board you have the nuts as opposed to the main bolt running through. So grab your T-tool for your nut and grab your Allen key or your Phillips head and make sure these are tight. On the back of your board you also have the same 4 nuts and bolts, so repeat the process to the back as well. Next up I'm going to show you how to tighten the black nuts and bolts located on the front and back of your board. So what you need to look out for is whether these nuts and bolts are loose. If they are, as you can see here, the whole back mechanism is going to move and it's going to cause unnecessary wear. Next up we're going to move on to the silver nuts and bolts located on the thruster and the front trucks. Now these 4 silver nuts and bolts secure the truck to the turning mechanism. Simply grab your Phillips screwdriver, check the front nuts and check the back bolts and nuts. The front nuts once again are self-tapping. They have a small washer, make sure that's in place. The rear nut and bolt will have the bolt located underneath. Hold that with a pair of nose pliers while you tighten the front bolt with the Phillips head screwdriver. Next up is lubrication of your board. It's probably the most important thing that you need to do to maintain your board and keep it in good working order. I'm going to show you the most important areas to place the oil. So place oil onto your bearing, just a slight drop, both front and underneath. The rear cup, place a few little drops there. Also on your bushes, front bushes as well. And now the most important area of your board is inside the thruster. There's a spring. Drop a few drops into the front and a few drops at the back of the spring. Gently move the thruster to work the oil in. Next up, turn the board over and place oil through the main base plate here, and once again give it a little bit of a turn to work the oil in. This covers all the areas of lubrication for your board. To find out how to maintain your wheels and bearings, simply go to one of our other videos which will cover this segment. Okay guys, hopefully you found those maintenance tips helpful. Any more questions, simply contact SmoothStar support.